Hey, welcome to the stream.
I should certainly pay more respect to an honest dog wagging his tail than to 100 such demonstrations of human regard of fake friendship. Is real friendship even possible? This is the question Schopenhauer tries to answer. True friendship, if such a thing even exists, is rare. What is common, however, is the appearance of true friendship. You have the outward appearance of it, a mimic show made to look as much like the real thing as possible. The basis of true friendship for Schopenhauer is an objective compassion with the weal and woe of your friend. The word objective here denotes disinterest. A good friend is completely selfless and identifies himself completely with his friend, so much so that not even a trace of a selfish motive for the friendship is left. Suffice to say that for Schopenhauer, this is an ideal that is almost never reached in the real world. He even wonders if it's possible at all. The egoism of human nature is so strongly antagonistic to any such sympathy that true friendship belongs to that class of things, the sea serpent, for instance, with regard to which no one knows whether they are fabulous or really exist somewhere or other. Schopenhauer's cynical view of friendship is exemplified by a passage in which he does admit that true friendship might be possible after all, only to add the disclaimer that surely some kind of secret personal motive must be at play as well.
I wonder why go through the trouble of defining something that doesn't exist or cannot exist. Like, what would be the point of having that definition? If there's no such thing as true friendship, why do we have a label to denote what that thing is? Maybe we should change what that label denotes or what that label refers to, potentially. But, Schopenhauer is a very popular, famous philosopher. He may know better than I do.
Still, we might as well regard this kind of friendship as genuine. Even though it's not perfect, it's the best we can hope for, because at bottom, at least there is some real feeling of compassion in there. But in a world where all is imperfect, this grain of true feeling is such an ennobling influence that it gives some warrant for calling those relations by the name of friendship, for they stand far above the ordinary friendships that prevail amongst mankind. The latter are so constituted that, were you to hear how your dear friends speak of you behind your back, you would never say another word to them. So the question arises, how do you know if a friend is real or fake? There are two ways to know. You know a friend is real if circumstances force him to make some kind of great sacrifice for you. If misfortune befalls you, who of your friends will still be there for you? And
You need to force people need to have sacrifices to be your friend. That's such a weird... Hello, what's up? I feel like that's a weird thing to ask for, to necessitate somebody make some large sacrifice to be your friend. Seems a bit unnecessary.
which of them will disappear from your life? Will your friends support you in difficult times, or will they not bother? But
And also, I assume that friendships can be short term. They don't need to be there forever. So some friends can leave you at some point and still have been your friend. I think. Maybe. Possibly.
you
Potentially.
don't need to wait until your life takes a turn for the worst in order to figure out which of your friends are real. Schopenhauer proposes a test, a little experiment, to separate the real from the fake friends.
Test.
You should tell him the news of some kind of misfortune you recently encountered. It could be anything. Maybe you lost a lot of money because of a wrong investment. Maybe you had a big fight with your significant other. Maybe you lost your job. And then, Schopenhauer advises, you need to watch his facial expressions very closely. At that moment, the expression of his features will either show that his one thought is that of true and sincere sympathy for you, or else the absolute composure of his countenance, or the passing trace of something other than sympathy, will confirm the well-known maxim of La Rochefoucauld. In the misfortunes of our best friends, we always find something not altogether displeasing to us. The faintest hint of something other than sympathy betrays an ulterior motive to the friendship. It's a
Interesting. I laugh a lot when people tell me bad news, so I don't. I think I fail this test every single time. Wow. I think Schopenhauer's projecting how he is inside. Possibly, yeah. There are people who would die for their friend or lover, and the other day I caught myself saying I would die for her. Oh wow, for my guru. You die for your guru. That's very nice. Came out naturally. It may have been temporary. Yeah, it's fine if it's temporary, right? You mean it when you say it. As long as you mean it when you say it. That's all that really matters, right? But this whole testing thing, I don't know about that. This is kind of a weird sort of idea. If you go around starting testing your friends, now he's not proposing a sort of insincere test. He's not proposing that you lie about something bad happening to test your friends. But I don't think it makes a difference. If you're going around trying to test your friends, that probably says more about the person testing than the person being tested. Maybe not, but you know, it does convey some information if you need to go around testing people. It's just a bit weird to me.
Flaw in human nature, one of the many Schopenhauer discovers throughout his writings, that in the misfortunes of our friends, we cannot help but feel somewhat delighted at their troubles. Indeed, at such a moment, the ordinary so-called friend will find it hard to suppress the signs of a slight smile of pleasure. This is an example of Schadenfreude, and Schopenhauer considered it the most evil part of our human nature.
So this is, I mean, I don't feel pleasure in other people's misfortune, but I laugh a lot. And I smile most times in social situations. I find it difficult to not smile when talking to people. So I don't know if I feel Schadenfreude. I don't like people feeling misfortune, but I do smile when people give me bad news. So, well, I guess take that as you will, Schopenhauer.
But a part of our human nature nonetheless. And as such, we must learn to deal with it, suppress it within ourselves, and recognize it in others so that we may avoid them. A real friend is incapable of feeling Schadenfreude for you, but such a friend is hard to come by. In this regard, another saying of La Rochefoucauld comes to mind. A true friend is the greatest of all blessings, and that which we take the least care of all to acquire. Behind the layer of cynicism...
True. Who said that? La Rochefoucauld? I don't know who that is. Okay, nothing in the description. I want to read that one more. I want to hear that once more. A true friend is the greatest of all blessings, and that which we take the least care to acquire. How unfortunate is that? We don't actually learn how to develop relationships and friendships and value those. And we don't know how to develop them. We don't learn how to value them. And in fact, we sabotage them often. We don't ever cultivate any of them. You know, it's a big mess. So somebody knew it many years ago, and maybe we should learn from that wisdom. Try to learn how to acquire good friendships and develop them and strengthen our relationships. It seems like a cool thing to do.
All to acquire. Behind the layer of cynicism, we can discern that the pessimistic Schopenhauer really does value friendship, even if it's so rare it might as well not exist.
Kalyan Mitra. Is this the good friend? I don't remember this translation. Kalyan Mitra. Kalyan Mitra. The admirable friendship. There you go. An admirable friendship. It's very important.
What we could take away from this is that we should try our best to find true friends and cherish their friendship and the relationship we have with them. And if all of that fails, at least we still have dogs to keep us company. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and leave a comment for the algorithm.
Okay, I think I did like the video. I will like it. I don't think I'll subscribe. No, I know I won't subscribe, but I like the video. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with a smiley face. How nice. I mean, it's a simple video, a little bit toxic with the weird tests, a little bit weird with defining friendship as something that is unachievable, defining true friendship as something that's unachievable and saying that it's bad because it doesn't exist. Well, just change your definition, bro. You defined it that way. But, you know, besides that, it's mostly wholesome, I think. We're looking for friendships, and that sounds cool to me. How nice. Well, hey guys, welcome to the stream. What's going on? Hope y'all have been well. I've been pretty chill. Friendship, good friendship is the whole of the path, not half. Interesting. How about that? Wow. Okay, I got myself here a black tea from my dearest friend Chop Chop. I hung out with Chop Chop yesterday, and he gave me a little bit of tea. I say as if he just gave it to me. I requested some tea. And he gave me this black tea, or I took this black tea. Not sure how to say it. It's very nice. At least from the smell of it. I hadn't had it yet. Very fruity. Bit of honey flavor. Like a wild forest honey. Gets in the back of the throat. Cultivar. I think it's a Phoenix. It is Phoenix. It's just called Phoenix Red, so it doesn't have any information. Unfortunately. Phoenix Red from T-File. Honey flavored black tea, yes. So I believe it is a Phoenix Oolong, but processed as a black tea. But I don't know what type of Phoenix Oolong. So good. It's kind of like black. What is the black? Currants, I think they're called. Honey. Something else, I don't know what else. Okay, anyway. That's my tea for the day. We're going to keep moving on to the next video here. We got a recommendation for health from Llama Lena. Okay, let's check it out. "2 minutes to midnight, an extravaganza. Are people staying up late for practice? What's up with that? I've been not sleeping well for the last maybe 2 weeks, and 2 minutes to midnight sounds awful. I think I'm intensely intimate with the time frame of 2 minutes to midnight. I don't like this. What's not well about my sleep? I haven't been sleeping at appropriate times, nor have I been waking at appropriate times recently, in the last couple weeks. That's what's not well about it.
My name is Llama Lena
Hello.
Yeshiketu, and I
didn't hear the last part, sorry. Llama Lena. What part?
my name is Llama Lena Yeshiketu,
Yeshi Ketup. Okay.
and I am a llama. Now what would that be in English? Literally, it means teacher.
Okay.
However, it is similar to a priest, but not exactly.
Okay. This tea is fantastic. I don't know what to say. The tea is really good. It's got a very nice splash. Immediately, really strong, sort of just feeling my mouth. Filling my mouth. The space of my tasting area is just filled with this sort of like honey type aroma. Honey and like kind of rose. Wow, very nice. Okay, anyway. Okay. What is the llama?
Of Tibetan lineage.
Mhm.
I teach something called Dharma, an entire system of, I guess it would fall into your category of self-development, but it is when you take self-development to its completion, that self is not separate from everything else. So it is not a self-focused self-development, but rather an outward focused self-development with the elements of bodhicitta. That is open-minded, open-hearted, great-heartedness, another word that doesn't translate completely.
Bodhicitta.
I've been doing this for nigh on 50 years now, not teaching it, studying it, and teaching perhaps for the last 10 or 12.
So we got Bodhicitta, which she said open-hearted. I don't know what she said. I didn't follow that. Dharma. Did she define Dharma? I don't think she defined Dharma. Self-development, she says. And teacher, Lama, teacher. 3 new words to try to take in. What's essential for a person to develop the benefit to benefit the future that is now? What kind of question is this? What's essential for a person to develop to benefit the future that is now? Is this a normal person's question, or is this a normal person question? The future that is now. How do we develop the future that is now? How do we benefit the future that is now? How do you develop a person to benefit the future that is now? Okay, maybe the that is now part is the weird part to me. Okay, what's essential for you to develop to benefit the future?
Most
Future that's
essential
now.
is bodhicitta. That literally translates as Buddha consciousness, but doesn't really refer to the historical Gautama lion of the Shakya clan, but rather an idea of complete open awareness. That open awareness is similar to what we might call love, but our small loves are entangled with jealousy, with hope, with fear, with all sorts of stuff. This is unentangled love.
A pure
Much
love.
more similar to the way a mother feels about her child when it's a baby.
Interesting. Is the love for a child a pure love, unentangled? Much more like that, not exactly like that though. Interesting.
It's a feeling, and it is beyond a feeling. It is an awareness of all life and the mutuality of all life. The actual realization takes time, but it begins with a wish to benefit others as much as yourself. Rather than, you're familiar with how you keep crabs in a bucket? If you put a bunch of them in there, every time one crawls to the rim, the other's trying to crawl on top of it, pulls it back. So
crabs in a bucket. Lama Lena is trying to be accessible here. Okay. So we're trying to say this in a very understandable language for sort of a person who is not steeped into any type of tradition like this. Fair enough. Okay.
They can't escape from the bucket. Like this, we humans and other beings do, constantly trying to crawl on top of each other to get out, up, whatever it is we want, pulling each other back. That's the opposite of bodhicitta. It's lack of awareness that all life is in this together. That at whichever level a person is able to invoke or develop it at a given moment is probably the single most important. It's a will. It's a will and an awareness. A will to be of benefit, not because you want everybody to know you are, not because that's what a good person does, but because you recognize on a base gut level that all life not just all life on this ball, although you can start there, this ball of mud going around a star. All life on it is interwoven, interconnected, and interdependent. This is obvious when you consider ecology. Based on that awareness, which can be extended and someday will have to be extended beyond this single tiny ball of mud going around this single tiny star in a single tiny galaxy.
Okay, everything's small. What's your advice to those who want to work for the common good?
It is inherent to us, but usually, and not just all humans, all that is alive. However, usually it is occluded or obscured by a combination of desire and fear.
Okay, she's saying everything that is alive wants to work for the common good, but it is occluded. Interesting. I wonder how, I've never heard her talk about life. So I wonder how she would define life. Obviously, she's giving a, sort of a base level, basic sort of not very complicated type of explanation here. But I would just be curious of her talking about life. I know for sure she wouldn't define life as the sort of biological distinction that we generally make for life. So I wonder what she would mean. Everything, or where she would consider what she would consider to be alive and what isn't alive, and what does it mean for it to be working for the common good. Maybe she'll explain a bit here.
So instead of feeling it in its pure form, we are distracted, taken over by the little tiny fears and hopes that arise day to day. I hope my family likes what I cook tonight. Little tiny one. But that's a self-focusedness.
I'll be having tea tomorrow with some of my family members, and I hope that they enjoy the tea. I hope that we can share whatever it is that I like about tea with other people. I hope. It's a small one.
Not an open awareness. Open awareness is much more, feels much more like being in the moment.
Which tea am I going to share? I think I'm going to have 2. But maybe more, I don't know. We have a lot of people, and I only have small container vessels. So possibly this black tea that I have is very nice. Definitely one of the Shuishan Pu'er that you gifted to me. And I'm not sure if I need a third one. I think those 2 would be fine though, maybe. This black tea is very nice. It's like very accessible. It's just really pleasant flavors. And the Shuishan is longer lasting, very deeply penetrating, pleasant feelings, and it's pleasant enough flavor. Maybe stretching the palate a little bit for some people. We'll try that, I think.
Without the need to accomplish or not accomplish, not refraining from accomplishment, but without the need for accomplishments, feedback, being thought well of, but rather the base awareness of how we are all in this together, and as such need to support each other in the most open-minded, open-hearted way that we can do so. Be very careful of what you think.
Who is that mystery? Who is the mystery other person here?
What we are all in this together, and as such need to support each other in the most open-minded, open-hearted way that we can do so.
This is our interviewer. Hello, sir. Show yourself. I'd like to hear the interviewer's questions and how the interviewer is processing the answers. Hello, interviewer. How are you? Oh, they've got lots of interviews on their channel. Okay, well. Okay. Moving on.
Be very careful of what you think is good. So much harm has been done through history, if you read history, by people who thought they were doing good.
Mm-hmm.
Wars have been fought for good. Improving the human race leads to genocide, or has in the past. If you read history, you'll see again and again when people try to impose their concepts of right and wrong, good and evil on others from anger and fear and wanting things to be the way they want them to, rather than open-mindedness, messes occur. There's been some serious ones. Those schools that are in the Canadian news now, where they're finding all the dead bodies of children, all the bones of children. Those schools were started to help the poor natives become civilized because somebody thought that was good and better for them. And without asking them what they would like, what was their good and their better, attempted to impose their own good and better. This is the danger in action. Know yourself and work at having an open mind to ideas other than your culture, your way of being. It is so easy to say, my way's the right way and you should all be vegan and we're going to arrest you if you eat meat.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, being vegan is very nice. It is good for the environment. And if done with a good knowledge of nutrition, can be excellent for the person doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But it will not suit all people at all times.
She's a vegan, right? I think she's a vegan too. Mm-hmm.
Most of the women in India of childbearing years are vegetarian.
She's not a vegan. She eats meat. Okay.
Most of the women in India of childbearing years are seriously anemic, and many of them have great difficulty physically, health-wise, in childbirth because of this. Many of the men cheat a bit on being vegetarian, not all, but very few of the women do. Their bodies won't do it with what is available to them in that place within their culture. All of life seems to eat each other, not just humans. You can't make a cat vegetarian. Physiologically, they're obligate carnivores. They don't digest and absorb proper nutrition from vegetables without a heck of a lot of supplementation.
Mm-hmm.
Even though to be vegetarian and vegan is an excellent idea for the sake of the world, be careful of imposing it forcefully on others. There are better ways. Encourage rather than force. Communicate rather than force. Lest you be the demon you fear. Lest you become the demon you fear. I come back again to the basic concept of open-mindedness. Without that, activism is dangerous. With that, much benefit can occur. Most, not all perhaps, but many to most, forms of spirituality have that in it, in at least some of the teachings.
Open-mindedness?
Yes, Jesus taught that. Within the culture, so may well have Muhammad. I'm less familiar with his teachings. However, within spirituality, there is also sects, groups that further closed-mindedness and hatred.
Mm-hmm.
You know the difference in feeling between open-heartedness and closed-heartedness. If it is tight, constricted, angry, grasping, don't trust it. If it is open, relaxed, open to input, to feedback, to what comes into the next occurrence, relaxed, loving at the base, rather than angry or hatred, you've got a better chance of having found a path that works.
Mm-hmm.
To develop it within the system I teach, there are many methods. Tantra, Sutrayana. I believe that there are methods within other systems too, the Yaqui system, which I'm slightly familiar with. Possibly more so than I am with the Christian system. Even within the Hindu system, although not necessarily all Hindus subscribe to that part of it. If there is hate in your heart, you're going to make a mess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Take it down to the simple. Do not do those things which increase hatred. Avoid them. Do those things which increase love. Further them. This is the simplest way to develop it. Also, spending time observing the world around you, rather than how I can get what I want out of it. Just look at it with your eyes open. Feel it with your feelings open. In Tibetan, we have talk about 6 senses, the 6th one being the yi, which feels. Listen to it with your ears open, without trying to do anything about it. You will find it to be full of life. And all that life is interconnecting and influencing and affecting each other to benefit or harm. Hatred has no place in this awareness. Opinion on others. Having lived in more than one culture and more than one linguistic matrix, the way I see things in right and wrong as a Westerner is not the way my Tibetan friends see them.
Mm-hmm.
The more languages you speak, the more cultural literacy I think you can develop, and I strongly recommend doing that.
Cultural literacy. Wow. Okay, well that's the end there. From producer Catalista. 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 Catalista? Catalista? Catalista. Okay. I'm not exactly sure what this is that we're watching. Beware of headphone users. Doesn't seem like there's any sound. Can't beware of anything. There's no sound. Okay, there are people screaming. A person screaming? I don't... Okay. Trump guy enjoying his time here. I don't know what I'm watching. Interesting. Click the mute circle. Okay, morning volume. Okay, hold on. I'll try that again. Let's see if we can try it again. Oh, we got it.
Trump! 4 more years! 4 more years!
Okay. My guy's into it.
I mean, I got big ass ears and I can barely hear you. I got some big ass ears and I still barely hear you.
Okay, that wasn't so bad. He just screamed.
Trump! 2020! Trump! 4 more years! 4 more years! What,
All right, that was just screaming at each other. One guy wants Trump, the other presumably doesn't. Screaming. Well, the screamer won, I guess. Screamo wins. Probably needs a little bit of water and honey after all that yelling. Searching for the bull. Wow. This is a very long video. We will not watch the long video. Though I like this channel a lot. And the Zen Gateway. This guy's pretty cool. Of course, I like koan, so he likes to talk about koans a lot.
Makahanya haramita shingyo genji zaiboza gyojinanya.
Okay, well, I don't know what the chant is. Maybe I'll save that for myself later. We do have a little bit more. I've got another short video here. You know, I was thinking about what Lama Elena said about you've met Martin a bunch of times. Oh, wow, cool. I am still alive, yes. I am here alive. Just been gone for a couple days. In my time off, I've been watching a lot of TV shows. Well, I watched 2 TV shows that I thought were fairly good. Well, one of them I didn't think was very good. I enjoyed watching it. I didn't think it was that good. And the other one I thought was very good, and I enjoyed watching. I watched Squid Game, which I thought was okay. Like, it was a fun show to watch. I don't think it was very well made. I don't think it was very good, but it was fun to watch. I enjoyed it. And I also watched another show called Midnight Mass, which I very much enjoyed, and I thought it was fantastic. Great show. A couple Netflix shows. But Squid Game is very violent. Not conducive for not being violent or not being hateful. Lama Elena said something about not being hateful, not cultivating things that make you hateful. And I think Squid Game may be antithetical to that. You've been busy, you didn't know what's going on. Okay, well that's good. Yeah, that's good. Good to be busy. Okay, I think we had a suggestion here for this video about Zen. What is Zen? Don't know what Zen is. From a Korean master. So let's check this out. What the heck is Zen? Hello, a beautiful sun rising. You tried Midnight Mass, the imagery was too much. What? You didn't like the imagery? Oh my goodness. Don't know what to say. I like the show. That was good. All right, what is in?
A great Indian sage once said, "The world is illusion. Only true self is real."
The world is an illusion. Okay. Let me have to boost the volume a little bit on this stuff. It's really quiet. What I'm drinking today is a nice black tea. Oh, it's a pleasant black tea. It's a Phoenix Black. So some Phoenix Oolong, I don't know what Phoenix Oolong, but processed as a black. Or, yeah, it's called Phoenix Red, so I'm not exactly sure. It didn't give any information of the cultivar or anything. Anyway, it's very nice, very pleasant, very smooth, very soft. None of those harsh sort of potato-y flavors or like root vegetable flavors, but very sweet, kind of like honey, a little bit of rose. It's kind of a typical black tea. Nice black, like a normal nice black tea. You get those normal honey and rose flavors, and maybe a couple other fruits. It's very nice.
The world is true self. Zen means understanding my true self. What?
To understand your true self. Does that sound? Can you guys hear that?
When
What
I
am
was
I?
born, where did I come from? When I died, where do I go? Now, we are living in this world, very chaotic. Many things coming, going, changing, non-stop. So much change and movement, so much chaos, so many shadows.
Who is this? This is Hyung Gak Sumin. You know, when I said it earlier, I said that this was a Korean person. But now that I see him and hear him, I don't know if this is a Korean person. Hyung Gak Sumin. Okay, he's an American. From New Jersey. From Yale and Harvard Divinity School. Wow. This is our guy. A Zen teacher.
But that's just the outside form of this world. It's an illusion. Like shadows, like the appearances in a dream. This outer world is just an illusion. It's a temporary combination of light and shadow, of name and form.
Is he Korean if he IDs as Korean? Yeah. We had a whole discussion, didn't we, once of the guy Corey, and I don't remember the guy's name. Jimin. Anyway, no, he just has a Korean name because he's a part of a Korean school of Zen Buddhism. He's not Korean though. He is not Korean. The narrative that the world is an illusion, absolutely. Coffee is the best illusion. I'd say tea, but you know, different strokes for different folks. Yes, yes.
Of time and space, all of it created by thinking. So this is just an illusion. When we believe this illusion can catch us and control us. That's the way most of us live.
Caught and controlled
The next
by the
line
illusion.
is, only true self is real. When the Buddha stepped out of his mother's side when the Buddha was born, according to tradition. He took 7 steps and said, in all the heavens above and in all the lands below, only I am holy. Only this true nature is real.
The story is that the Buddha was born and walked 7 steps and said words as he was born. What a weird story. I've never heard that before. How strange. What tradition is that a part of that people believe that? How strange. You're looking at my phone in the video?
So in all the cosmos above, with supernovas and black holes, planets, stars, exploding nebulae, the creation and death of universes, and in all the lands below, all of the cultures, civilizations, books, movies, artifacts of civilizations, under all of that, and above all of this, there's only one thing that is truly significant. There's only one thing that truly, exists. Only one thing is truly real.
What is the one thing?
Our true nature. Only
true
one
nature.
thing is truly worth study. Then the third line. This whole world is true self. This entire reality is nothing more than mind. So in Zen we say, mind is Buddha, Buddha is mind. Everything is created by mind alone. So what is this mind? Every day we say I, my, me. Hundreds of times every day. Thousands of times. Even in our sleep, we're saying I. Oh, does that person like me? What does that person say? Oh, this is that person I saw in high school I didn't like. I, me, around and around and
Weird
around
dreams.
and around. Non-stop. We even wake up from an 8-hour sleep and we're still tired because this I is rotating around and around and around. Completely.
You know what? When you go to sleep and you sleep for 8 hours and you wake up still tired, this is horrible. It's awful. It is not recommended. I don't think that anybody should go through that ever. Nobody, please do that to yourself. Nobody do that to yourself. Everybody, get a good 9 hours of sleep opportunity, 8 hours of sleep, 7.5 hours. It doesn't matter how many hours you sleep. 9 hours of sleep opportunity. Make sure that you have the space available to actually be able to have good quality sleep for 9 hours. That's just a good window for that. And you sleep for however long it's necessary. And then you wake up and you feel refreshed and beautiful and rejuvenated and renewed for the day. And then you can go to sleep and enjoy your slumber. And it's lovely. But having poor sleep is not lovely. It's the exact opposite. Being sleepy sucks. Have you ever been sleepy before? Of course you have. And it's awful. Why would you ever do that to yourself? Don't do that. Please. Everybody, just sleep well and be renewed and maybe remove this eye stuff and maybe see the world as illusion. I don't know about all that other nonsense, but just sleep well. Do all the things that you can to make yourself sleep well. 9.5 hours as often as possible. Yeah, that sounds good, right? You just want at least to have the opportunity to give yourself the opportunity to be able to sleep for 9 hours. And you may or may not sleep for that many hours, but as long as you have the opportunity set up for yourself. Have I ever thought about paying my viewers? No. For example, the viewer that can get the most watch time can win a $200 gift card from Amazon or Walmart. No, I have not thought about paying my viewers. I don't have any money to pay my viewers, nor do I have any desire to. Hey, what's up? How you doing, Jim? Why? You just want money from me? No. Go get a job if you want $200. Why would you want to watch my stream for several hours to get money? Go get a job if you want money. Okay. You get fakery points. It's true. If you watch on Twitch, you get points. You can reward the points for... I don't know what the rewards are, actually. I don't have my Twitch up at the moment. You can do like TTS, you know this, but you know it's not really worth anything. So just if you want money, get a job. If you don't, if you want money, you should be watching the stream. I don't think for the most amount of watch hours for $200, it's not worth it. It's definitely not worth it.
Created by thinking. So where does I come from?
Where am I?
So philosophy explains I. All religions talk about I.
Okay.
Zen teaching is insight into the nature of where does this I come from? So this body is American.
He
I
identifies as
have a
American.
Buddhist name, an American name. But all of these are just created by thinking. My parents gave me one name. My teacher gave me another name. This body appears and disappears, appears and disappears, appears and disappears. But there's one thing that never appears and never disappears. It never comes, it never goes. It's never born, never dies. It's not male or female. It's not pure or impure. It never appears or disappears. So, what is this thing? It's not even a thing. So Zen meditation is not a religion. It's not an ideology or a creed. It's not a dogma.
Not a religion,
It's
not a
belief
creed, not a belief system, not an
even a way of
ideology,
life.
not even a way of life.
Zen
How
just
about
means
that?
meditation. Meditation just means looking. What am I? So when we sit there in formal meditation, sitting in this basic posture, legs crossed or sitting in a chair, the body erect, but not tight, clear,
Here.
straight, centered in our breathing, and our breathing happening in our center, this area below my navel.
Okay.
Eyes down, half open, gazing at the floor. Not looking or searching, gazing lightly at the floor. Eyes open.
You know, I'm not a person. I've done many eyes open meditations. I've done many eyes closed meditations. I am not a fan of the eyes half open meditation. I don't know how does this work? How do you do this technique, this sort of expert level high, this is a high level for me personally, at least. I don't know how to keep my eyes half open. It feels like such a struggle to, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm tensing my muscle enough to keep my eye at some midpoint between open and closed. It doesn't feel right to me. Just have them open or have them closed. I don't know what this half open thing is. It puts a lot of extra tension in my face. It feels really strange. And it's hard to keep for a long period of time. I guess I haven't tried it for much more than just a cursory attempt and then gave up on it and just switched to eyes open. But I don't like this half eye open stuff. Maybe is there some other is there a reason why people like to do it half open? Is it really helpful? Does it feel more? I think I'm confusing myself about half open. It's just open. Normal open. It's just as easy as normal open. Oh, is it? How? Hold on, I have to think about. I'm gonna attempt to do this. Just relax your eyes. If I just relax my eyes are open, or they're closed. How do you do half open? I feel like I have to do something with my face. Hold on, I'm gonna try it for maybe a minute. No, I'm not gonna try for a minute. I'm just gonna attempt to do it. It's gonna take me 15 seconds to rest my face enough to try to do this. No. No, it feels like something. Take a picture of my eyes looking down and see how much of my eyelids are covered. It's probably about half. Okay, so just have my eyes open but look down. So right now I'm looking downwards. My eyelids are, I feel like my eyes are just open. I can't look down and look at myself in the camera though, so, so that's it. That's not half open. That's looking up. Okay. All right. That was just my own confusion then. All right. Well, thanks for clearing that up. Well, that's easy enough. Okay. There we go. That's just eyes open. It's looking down with your eyes open. Okay. All right. Fair enough. My own confusion. Strike it from the record. Excuse me. I do that all the time. That's how I just, yeah, if I ever have my eyes open, I look sort of downwards. And that's kind of how it is. Okay. Yeah, I was just confused. What they consider open eyes is probably what I would call eyes wide open. Oh, wide open. Okay. Which that would be also a bit of a stressor on the face.
Ears open, nose open, tongue, body, mind. So in this position, in this basic architecture, we sit with full attention to the breathing. Natural, clear, not forced, not some sort of artificial Zen breathing that we've gotten from some samurai movie. Zen breathing is very natural breathing, the breathing of a baby, centered in our tanjan, our hara, just below the navel.
Dantian, maybe? Root chakra?
Body is
possibly?
straight, not tight. Head is upright, not stiff. Eyes half opened with awareness in the breath. What is breathing? What controls my breath? What hears that sound? Who smells the incense? Who? What? What is it? So we turn the view. Turn the view around. All day our looking is outside into things that are coming, going, endlessly. It's only the appearance of an unreal world. So in this basic posture, and it can happen in a chair, it can happen lying down. Watching the breath, aware of the breath, keeps us in this moment, right here, right now. Then with this awareness, we turn awareness to the source of awareness. What am I? And when we do that, when we seriously look with courage, not following our thinking, not following the flow of memories, also not ignoring them, not pushing them away. Zen does not mean stopping your thinking. Stopping your thinking is not meditation. You can't stop your thinking. Rather, turn back. What is thinking? What is thinking? Who is thinking? Who thinks? So when a thought arises, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Return to the source. Who is thinking? Where does the thinking come from? Where? What is the source? That investigation, when you really look, that investigation leads to your thinking it can't go, your thinking can't go farther.
What was that sound he was making? It was such a good sound. What was that sound? I don't even know what to do with my face to attempt to make that sound. It was a good sound. We're going to hear that sound one more time. Who is hearing?
Investigation. When you really look, that investigation leads to your thinking it can't go, your thinking can't go farther. You're thinking
He's got much more like it's much more deep. It's a good sound. I don't know how to make that sound. It's a good sound. Okay. Wow. Just want to appreciate that sound. It's a good sound.
Right there, right there. Before thinking arises again, before thinking. There's no coming, no going. There's no male, no female. No pure, no impure. No God, no Buddha. No yesterday, no tomorrow. It never appears or disappears. It's not male or female. And as I said, it was never born and it never dies. That. It has no name and no form. Some people call it Buddha or God or consciousness or the absolute, Christ nature, holiness, spirit, the soul, Brahman, in the words of the Indian sage who gave us the poem. But it has no name, no form. The minute you call it something, it's already a mistake. It's already a mistake. So meditation means look. It's not even a thing. So meditation is this action of being. To be with the breath and to look at what am I? And when you really ask, when you really look, not as a question, what am I, as a conceptual, intellectual exercise, when you really look, all thinking is completely, in that instant, cut off.
You must have
That
practiced the
point.
sound.
Be
It's so good.
for thinking. My teacher, the great Zen master Sung San, for teaching purposes, called it don't know.
Don't know mind.
Christian mystics used to call it not knowing. The cloud of unknowing. Osho Rajneesh called it no mind. Some people call it beginner's mind. But it has no name, has no form. These are just teaching words. So meditation means being with this awareness. The very source of awareness. Thinking coming, thinking going, leave it alone. The great Suzuki Roshi once said, in your meditation, leave the back door and the front door open. Let thinking come and go. Just don't serve it tea. Just don't give tea to your thinking, because then it wants to stay. So meditation means leave it alone. Leave the back door and the front door open. Don't close off anything. Rather, return to breathing. Return to breathing. Natural, effortless breathing in your center. And this investigation. What am I? Then this don't know mind gets bigger, 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 bigger. Actually, it can't get bigger or smaller. It's infinite in time and space. But your awareness of it grows deeper and deeper and stronger. Then every moment is just this don't know mind moment. That is Zen.
Okay, that's Zen. Don't know mind. Easy. Well, thank you very much, Hyung Gak Simnin. Synim. Hyung Gak Sinim. There you go. Simple enough. Don't know mind is meditation. Sonim. Oh. Hyung Gak Sonim. Sonim. Nim? Sunim. Wait. Sunim. I don't know Korean, all right? Sunim. I've never studied Korean. All right. Thank you very much, sir. was a bit more profound, a bit too profound for my taste. But interesting no less, and that sound. Oh man, that sound. Get more of that sound. What do I think about Kriya Yoga? I don't know anything about Kriya Yoga. What does it think about Kriya Yoga? I know what Kriyas are. I know what yoga is. I don't know anything about Kriya Yoga. Let's look it up. Let's formulate my thoughts right now. Kriya Yoga. It's the active aspect of yoga, okay? 3 types of Kriya: action, yoga in action. This is asceticism, recitation, and devotion. According to Yogananda, the ancient yogic text of the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, it contains a description of Kriya Yoga in the 2nd chapter. Liberation can be attained by the pranayama, which is accomplished by disjointing the course of inspiration in expiration. Inspiration and expiration. I never thought about these words as being opposites. Inspiration and expiration. I gotta think about that for a bit. That's interesting. Kriya Yoga is a system that consists of a number of levels of pranayama, mantra, and mudra based on techniques intended to rapidly accelerate your spiritual development and engender a profound state of tranquility and God communion. Okay. Yogananda attributes his description of Kriya Yoga to his lineage of gurus, Sri Yukteswar Giri. Okay, I don't know all these names. Interesting. Well, that description didn't give me enough to actually understand or know what it means, so I'm not sure. Sounds fine. I've heard these names often, I guess. I've heard Yogananda and Patanjali. Well, today I don't really have much of a plan at all. I'm sure it's probably obvious. I had no plan for the day. I've just been kind of, not planning. So, if you've got anything we can do or not do. I've been seeing a little bit of murmuring about a new Dave Chappelle special, which I haven't watched, unfortunately. I haven't watched Dave Chappelle in a long time. Well, I mean, I haven't liked a couple of his most recent specials. He's done this sort of weird sort of transcending of comedy, which I'm not a big fan of. I want comedy that's comedic. And Dave Chappelle has done a good job of being very funny in his past and singing to the hearts of a generation, and then stopping being funny. And not in a way that he's like attempting to be funny and not being funny. He just stops trying to be funny. He's not making jokes at some point for a lot of his specials. He's just sitting there talking, which is an interesting style of comedy that I'm not a fan of personally, because I guess I'm not a comedian. It's kind of weird to transcend comedy. But this is something that a lot of people do, and I think it's interesting. I don't think it's for the public. We just want to watch people talk, right? Well, I can understand a comedian wanting to watch another comedian just talk. And that's nice, and there's something funny about it. There's something comedic about it because a comedian is doing it. But to like a normal person, it's like, it's not comedy. To a normal person. To a comedian, maybe. But to a normal person, it's not. And I don't like it. I can imagine the same thing for a musician or, you know, a Zen. You know, we can talk about spiritual stuff. You know, a Zen person, they can say things that are not Zen at all. But if you're a Zen master, it's so Zen. You know, it's something like that. It's something similar to that. Where all the Zen people understand each other. All the Zen people talking to each other. And they're not saying anything Zen related. But they're all so Zen together. Maybe. But I'm not a comedian, so I don't want to just watch a comedian talk about nothing. Okay, the 9 steps of mental abidance. Abidance? Abdance? Abidance? What the heck is abidance? Abidance. Oh, abidance. Oh, okay. That's a very simple word. Oh, the steps to calm abiding. Maybe I could just read the whole title. I would have picked that up. Okay. The 9 stages of mental abidance. All right. Let's check it out. An introduction to the 9 steps. 1 minute summary followed by the lists.
Ever wonder what this picture was about? The temple is the determination to be free that we need for sustained concentration.
What is this video? Okay, sorry, this video is jarring in many ways. Okay, what is this video? All right, I don't know what this video. I've never seen this picture before in my life. But apparently it's the 9 stages of mental abidance. All right, I'm just gonna restart the video for a second. That was very jarring to me. Sorry.
Ever wonder what this picture was about? The temple is the determination to be free that we need for sustained concentration. The first bend, the power of hearing instructions. The monk, ourselves at each of the stages. Rope, the power of mind.
I don't know if I can watch this video. Is this for Zoomers? This is the basis of Shamatha literature, as well as Srila Dasa's work. Okay? Is this... What is the format of this video? What is the style going on here? There's too many things happening all at once. And I can't watch it. I can't follow it. I'm looking at this channel. This is not a channel for Zoomers. What is this video? Why does this video exist? And why is it in the style that it is? All right, I'm going to try one more time. I won't pause it, I guess. We'll try to follow it. The style is the opposite of mental avoidance. Exactly. Okay. All right, spirituality for Zoomers, I think.
Ever wonder what this picture was about? The temple is the determination to be free that we need for sustained concentration. The first bend, the power of hearing instructions. The monk, ourselves at each of the stages. Rope, the power of mindfulness. Hook, the power of introspection. Fire, the powers of effort and familiarity. Hair, our...
Oh, I forgot. It's got music. Oh, no. I've already listened to too much of it. I don't know. Okay. I think I found a good enough excuse to not watch the video. The music is not good for my YouTube. Okay. We're not going to watch the video. Wow. What a video. You can click the link if you want to watch this video. I don't understand this video. And I'm happy to not watch it, honestly, but what a strange format. Does it just keep going? The music changes. It just switches to text on the screen. She's not talking anymore. It's just a bunch of text. Wow. Wow, that's all I can say to that. Wow. Now it's calm. I don't think that was calm. The music was attempting to be calming, but it was very loud. Okay. Okay. Well. All right. Well, I do want to get into this. There's a video about the Fukan Zazingi. Let's take a look. It's a long video, so we won't be watching it today, but we can dip our toes into it, I think, and see what we can get from it. There's a teaching from Zen Master Jinen. Zen Master Jinen about the Fukan Zazingi. Okay. His eyes are closed all the way. Right? Yes. Is that allowed? It looks like he's sleeping a little bit. Is that half closed
I would
there?
like to mention about what the reason why we have to do Zazen. Before I just mentioned about the Fukan Zazen, universal recommendation for Zazen. The reason why we have to do Zazen is what people try to be is, well, we really want to satisfy with us, or we completely feel safe. That's the reason what people just try to do is we just try to gain the money or try to get the much better social status. But unfortunately, this way, nobody be able to be satisfied with themselves. What Fukan Zazen, as Fukan Zazen says, we are already completely complete and universal, so that we don't need to do anything, because without what people thinking of what they have to have, we are completely satisfied with ourselves, and we feel very safe, so that we are just what we are doing is we're just doing it completely or entirely opposite way. That's the reason why I just want to ask you to Zazen. Then
I don't know if that was difficult for anybody else, but I was too busy listening to the cicadas to actually follow what he was saying. The pacing of his speaking is very odd. Of course, he's not speaking his native language, and he's a bit old, I guess. He's speaking slowly. I was just listening to the cicadas most of the time, which I guess I'm sure a Zen master would be happy with that. But a stream where I'm supposed to be commenting on what he's saying is probably not appropriate for me to not listen to what he's saying. The only reason I watch Zen videos is the sounds. Yes, exactly. Well, I'm sure Zen people would like that very much, but you know, I don't know what he's saying. Can't really follow it. Had a hard time here. But we can try to keep going, right? Try. I can put on subtitles. Oh. Do we have closed captioning? We do.
Again, I would like to mention about before I would like to mention about the Fukan Zazen universal recommendation for Zazen. I would like to just mention about Zen Master Dogen, who is a founder of Soto sects in Japan. When he was 3 years old, his parents passed away. Of course, he felt very sad. But although he was 3 years old, the thought or idea what life is, what death is, came up in his mind. After that, this thought always come up in his mind. Then, when he just became 13 years old, he decided to become monk. What becoming monk is, sincerely practice to figure out what life is, what they say. At that time, when people become a monk,
Is being a monk about figuring out what life and death is? There's a lot of a focus on death oftentimes that I don't quite understand personally. I don't quite get it. What is this obsession? Is that really what a monk is about? Being death, or being dead, life and death rather, life and death. What is death? Oh well, if you look at your scientific textbooks, I don't know, go to a biology page or whatever. Brain function stopping, maybe. I don't know. I'm no biologist, so I'm not too concerned, I guess. I watched the show Midnight Mass, and there's a lot about death in the show. It's very death sort of oriented. It's about well, I guess the title was referring to Easter, a mass on Easter at midnight, Easter Mass, which has something to do with death and resurrection. Why is that so important? I don't quite get it. Well, anyway, okay. To be a monk is about death, apparently. They don't put much stock in the brain stopping in Buddhist monasteries. That's why it doesn't resonate. Well, what are they referring to when they're talking about death? Why are they so concerned about it? I guess that's the question. What indeed? Okay. Okay, I'm having myself a second tea. Wow. 2 teas, 1 day. Crazy. Here, I have a Boolang. Boolang? I said that very strangely. Boolang. Boolang. There we go. Raw pu'er. Pretty sure it's fairly young. But there's no information on it. Maybe if you can read Chinese? I don't know what it says. I can't read Chinese. Anyway, a bit of this tea. I'm going to try it. Don't worry, not drinking too much tea. The first tea I had 2 grams. In this one, it's 3 grams. So still drinking a very manageable, small amount of tea. But I want to test it out before to see if it's suitable to share with my family for tomorrow. That's why I'm drinking some tea. Okay, we'll continue.
Became a monk. There are 2 monasteries.
It smells so good. It's so good. It's got that sort of, It's so full. So it goes really far. It gets, it goes up and down at the same time. It's got that sort of dank, but also plummy, and also kind of like body odor. It's like very sweet, plummy body odor. If you had like a, I don't know, the sweat from Jesus, it smells like that. Oh, it smells so good. Young Shang is rarely suitable for inexperienced tea people. There are some exceptions, though. Well, we'll find out together if it's suitable. Hopefully it's not too harsh. That's the test is for. Okay, I'll give it a shot. It smells really good.
Available to practice. One is, here is an Enryakuji, here mountain, Enryaku temple. That is our main temple of Tendai sect. The other one is...
What temperature am I brewing? Well, I just rinsed it at a very low temperature, 88 degrees, low temperature. Not very low, but low. I think I'm going to raise it up to... Oh, it's so good. That's so good. I think I'm going to try it at like 94. 94. 90. I had the black tea at 90. I think we'll do 94 here. Again, if I'm brewing it for myself, I will bump it up. I'll go 99. I'll get a little bit. I'll make it real harsh. I want some physicality when I'm drinking some young pour. I want to feel it move through me and move me, But I want to have a pleasant experience for my family, my friends. I'll turn the temperature down a little bit. 94 still may be too hot. I'll see. How do you brew your pu'er? You treat your Sheng pu'ers like green teas, and not the way that the YouTube lady drinks green teas. Okay, so you drink it more like 80, 85, something like that? Real low? Yeah. It's a good way to do it, to make sure it's not harsh. It's the reason why we don't drink green tea so hot. Okay, I'm going to do 95. I'm going to be doing flash steeps. I like flash steeps. I'm a flashy kind of person. Though I haven't been drinking a lot of pu'er, so I don't usually do flash steeps. But I like flash steeps. Definitely flash. 75 in some cases, Jesus. That's cold. You're drinking your tea at 75? You might not like the tea. That smells good. It's kind of like fudgy, you know, chocolatey or something. Fudgy, more fudgy. Okay, it's still pretty hot. I'm gonna let it sit for a bit, cool down. Don't want to burn myself. All right, we'll continue with the video. Here we go. You do flash steeps? Wait, are you suggesting even flash steeps at 75? I gotta try that because I've never tried it. I just joked on it, but interesting. I've never had it. I've never had any tea that cold, and I definitely never do flash steeps at like 80. That's interesting. Do you brew green tea at flash steeps too? 75 to 80 is the right tea for green, right temperature for green tea. Oh, I always do 80 to 85. That's usually my range. I never go down to 75. Interesting. And I definitely never do flash steeps for green tea. I always do like 30 seconds or 45 seconds. Pretty long steeps. I should try that. I'll give it a shot. This is good tea. Okay, we'll continue.
高野山金剛節、高野 Temple 金剛部、高野 Mountain 金剛 Temple. That belong to
With the right grammage, a flash steep can brew a nice brew. Interesting. How many grams of tea are you using there? And I guess I only used 3 grams here. Should be like, it's like a 50 milliliter or something. 3 grams, 50 milliliter. It's pretty low, actually. One gram per 10 milliliters. Okay. So 5 grams in a 50 milliliter thing. That's good. Okay. This is a pleasant tea. It's not even at all harsh. There's not really much bitterness or bite to it at all. It's just pleasant. Nice fudgy flavor. 1 gram per 10 milliliters is a lot. It's a lot. It's good though. Well, I like it. If I like raw pour, I like it really strong. It's expensive. Yeah. That's true. Not strong enough, I think. I would say that this is not even strong enough. I like it though, but it's not strong enough. Okay, I'm getting distracted. All right, we're watching. We're watching the video. Let's watch more of the video.
Shingon sect. What the Dogen then did is he decided to visit the Indian cuisine. And then he just became a monk and he started to studying the sutra. There is one famous sutra named...
Okay, all right. Well, since I'm drinking tea. We're talking about tea now too. Also, I've got just a weird feeling. Not immediately, but it's kind of just slowly developed. I got sort of a kind of a weird sort of pressure behind the forehead. You're gonna go tea shopping now. It's a good idea. Get some more tea. Got a pressure in my head, which I wouldn't consider to be something pleasant. I don't know if I wouldn't consider it to be pleasant. And I think it is tea produced. So maybe this would not be appropriate for sharing. Though it's a pleasant tea, it's got a very nice cooling flavor. Cooling sensation, rather. Cooling sensation, which I really, really enjoy. And I don't have a lot of raw pu'er to feel that flavor or sensation often. But it's very nice. Smoke some weed and it'll be less pressure. Okay. Noted. Thank you. Or eat some edibles. Okay. Thanks for the suggestion.
Is Isaikyo. Isaikyo, that means that one is everything, everything is one. When he just studied the Isaikyo, very incredible the phrase come close to him. He says, we are already Buddha. This means we are completely satisfied with ourselves, or we feel very much safe.
We are already Buddha. We feel satisfied with ourselves and we are safe. Do you feel that? I certainly do. Whenever you take the time to think about it or feel it, I don't know what the right phrase would be there. You're already pretty satisfied. But that's just me, I guess.
Then Master Dogen
He looks quite content. He does.
came across this phrase. He just took a look at him. All those sutras says we are already Buddha. So it's nothing concerned with the suffering from the delusion, the misunderstanding, eluded idea over discrimination. But although the sutra say, but he never satisfied with himself, and he felt very unsafe. What is this? This question come up in his mind. Then he just asks, try to find someone who will be able to just answer his question. And he just tried to just find the monk at the Hiei temple, but no one be able to answer his question. Then he decided went out the Hiei temple and tried to find a person who would just answer his question. I don't know much about how many years he just traveled around Japan, but quite many years he just spent. But unfortunately, he could not find the person who could answer his question. I think he totally disappointed, but his demand is quite huge, so that he never just gave up. Then Buddha Dharma just came from or transferred from China. So if he just went to China, he'll be able to find out the person or monk who will be able to answer his question. So 800 years ago, it's very risky travel to cross the Japan Sea, but he did. Then he visited he reached China, and then he traveled around China for 2.5 years. But very much unfortunately, he could not find a person or monk who will be able to just answer his question. He totally disappointed, and then, well, in a sense, he just gave up and tried to go back to Japan. He waited for ship at harbor. Very fortunately, among just they walked by there, and he just told him there was the true teacher named Nyojo. He just teach the truth at Tendo Temple. During his visiting the temples in China for 2.5 years, he went at the Tendo Temple, but at the time the Nyojo, Zen Master Nyojo was not there, so that he could not meet him. So although he was so exhausted, but his demand was quite much huge. So
What was the question that no one could answer? He read somewhere in the text that he was already satisfied. I don't remember the exact word. There was two things. Everyone is already satisfied and something else. But then he also thought that in his life he felt suffering. So he wanted to ask about that. I think I'm also very much not quite listening very closely. So I think that is what is happening here in this history lesson about Dogen. His parents died. He read that everybody's already feeling satisfied. He felt not satisfied personally, and he wanted to learn more from the Zen monks. And the monks did not know how to reconcile this. So he's searching.
he decided to just visit the Tendo Temple again. Then he just met the Zen Master Nyojo, and he just asked him why he could not satisfy himself. Although the sutra says we are already Buddha. So what the Nyojo's the answer is, you just admit these things, so-called body, yourself. Before he just met Zen Master Nyojo, he thought this thing is himself. But Nyojo just pointed out that this is not a thing, so what people thinking about man or human being. So he decided to practice with Zen Master Nyojo.
I didn't quite understand the answer. You have to admit to yourself that your body is, that you are your body? You have to admit to yourself what? To admit to these things, such as this thing we call body, as yourself. The answer is, I am Buddha. I am Buddha, but I am not satisfied. Why? What do I do about this? What's going on here? Help me, please, teacher. And the teacher says, you just admit these things, such as the thing we call a body, as yourself. You admit it as yourself. Don't know what that means.
Master Nyojo. I have a sort of experience. Just at the beginning of springtime, the weather is becoming warm, so that when we just
Oh, I see. Okay. The reason why you suffer is because you believe that you are your body. Because you have admitted to yourself that you are the body. That's why you're suffering. You think you're this thing that you're apparently not. I see. You think that you are the experience of this non-suffering, this suffering that is arising. You think that you are this feeling. You think that you are this body. If you admit that, then there is suffering. Fair enough.
when we just sit, the feel like something asleep. Then many times I just have such such experience. When the Zen master just sat on his place, the next the monk beside him just becoming sleeping. I mean, become sleep. So that what the Nojo said is he just
I'm asleep.
hit the monk who just sleeping on his shoulder
Hit him with a
by
slipper.
a kind of sleeper. Then naturally just the monk will be so surprised to be hit. But the more that's just what just happened is the master, the Dogen who just sat beside him, he was so surprised because when I just clap my hands something like this, then what people just think, oh, is because Jinan just clap his hand, then sound just come out. But at that time, what happened with Zen Master Dogen is he just realized this sound is himself, not this thing.
Oh, the sound is himself, not this thing. It's getting better, isn't it? Are you asking about the tea? I like it a lot, so yes. I very much enjoy this tea. You are the sound? Or getting slapped or getting hit? You are the feeling, possibly, but not the body? The sound is yourself, but not the body, not this thing? Interesting.
That's the reason he just, he was so surprised. And then he rushed to the Zen master Nyojo, and they told him, I completely cast off my body and mind. When we just realized this, wow, that's so surprised too.
Okay, this tea is very nice. I don't know. It took a while, so I had to brew it higher temperature. I bumped it all the way up to 99 degrees, and now we're getting a lot of bitterness, but in the good way. It's nice and bitter. It's got a little bit of a bite, and then it dissolves and becomes very sweet, and it's got a very strong plummy aftertaste, and it's super cooling. This is a good tea. This is a good tea. The problem is that it's bitter on the front. It tastes really bitter on the front. It's got a nice, real good bite, nice physicality going on too, which may not be acceptable for new drinkers. Maybe not. But I like it. I can say that much at least. Certainly could stand to use more leaves. I've only got 3 grams. Could stand to use a little bit more. 3 grams for 50 milliliters, but quite enjoyable. Many levels of delusion. I have faith in my body for now. Well, nothing wrong with that. But no need to hold on to it if it passes along, possibly.
Notice that. But Zen Master Nyojo is totally just realize who we are and what the universe is. Then he never just admitted what the Zen Master Dogen said. And he said, it's not true.
Not true.
We are already cast cast off mind and body. This difference is they must, the Dogen still have a kind of misunderstanding who he is. Because he just practiced, then he casts off his mind and body. But what the Zen master usually is, whether or not our practice, our body and mind is cast off. This different. Then what the Zen master usually pointed out, the Zen master Dogen just completely realized who he was, who he is. Then after that, he just came back from China with Zen Master Nyojo's certificate.
The true certificate. You must have a verification and documentation through the bureaucracy of Zen to have a legitimate awakening. Okay, well, this just seems like a lot of a history. We've watched about 20 minutes, 17 minutes. But it's just a history lesson. And I don't think we're terribly interested in a full history lesson. And I guess if anybody is familiar with Dogen and this type of stuff, we should all know the history. Ayatollah of rock and roll. What does that mean? What is the Ayatollah? Honorary title for a 12er Shia clergy. 12er? A clergy member for the Shia. Ayatollah rock and roller. Okay. I am enjoying this tea a lot. I still don't have much more to share or do, or do I still have pain in my third eye? It's not pain, there's just a pressure. And the answer is yes, it's still there. But it feels so good. It feels really nice to me, to probably anybody who's a low-level meditator. It's a pleasant, it's a unique feeling. It's an exotic sort of feeling. It just kind of feels, it's new, or not new, but it's interesting. It's not pleasant though. I did not like it before. It's definitely not a pleasant sensation. I wouldn't consider it to be a pleasant sensation, and certainly if somebody is feeling it and they are just feeling it without any sort of, if a normal person's feeling it, it's not a pleasant sensation. But and it's, even if I'm feeling it, it's not a pleasant sensation. But it's a I don't know what I'm saying, man. You guys don't understand. I think it's a sensation that's not pleasurable, but I don't have strong enough language to delineate clearly the differences that I'm trying to delineate here. It's not a pleasant sensation, but it is an exotic enough sensation for it to be interesting. Feels really nice. Nice isn't the right word. I think we understand together. Gyokuro. What does that mean? Like the tea? Gyokuro? I like Gyokuro. It's a good tea. It's a random video from a new Sam Harris interview. I like Sam Harris. Let's check it out for a minute.
So, for those of you that don't know Sam, Sam is a neuroscientist, author of 5.
What about the new Rajiv video? When did Rajiv post a new video? I am subscribed, but I don't see anything. Maybe I didn't hit the bell. Link? Oh, about a week or 2 ago. Okay. I don't know what his channel name is. Simply this, I think. Rajiv, simply this. What's the interview he had with the lady? That's not his channel name. I don't know his channel name. I think the lady's name was N.A. Naris, something like that. N-A-R-I-S, maybe? That doesn't help us. It was called Non-Duality with the girl's name. Naris, I think. Nope. 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 Nope, nope, nope. Okay, one more. Non-duality. Maybe I could just search for recent. From upload date. Sort by upload date. How do I pay my bills in life? Well, I used to have a good job, so I've got a lot of money saved up. That's how I pay my bills. Probably gonna sell my house soon, so I don't have any bills. Okay, I don't see the video. Yeah. Can't find it. Can't find it. All right, I guess Sam Harris it is. No Rajiv. Don't know what his video is called. Where will I sleep? That's a good question. I don't know. I have no idea. Where do I go? Well, the market has been very good for housing. My house is very expensive compared to what I paid for it. So I'll be making a lot of money if I sell my house, and I guess I could pay for somewhere to sleep. But I also have family members who live nearby. I could probably get a cheap rate from them too. What happened to the job? I quit it. I started drinking tea, and I thought, this is so much better than working. Let's not work anymore. And I stopped working. And then I thought, oh my God, not working is so much better than working. This is crazy. Why did anybody ever decide to go to work? What a ridiculous idea. And I stopped doing that. So that's just me though. Nothing against work itself. It's a fine thing to do, but for me, it was not. Tree root dwellers practice. Ruk Hamuklia. That's not how it's said. Ruk Hamulik Anga. Kanga. Ruk Hamulikanga. Living under a tree without shelter. Okay, well, that's certainly an option. Living under a tree is an option. Certainly an option. I don't know if it's yeah, I guess that's an option. Open air dwellers practice. Okay. This is practitioners from the Thai forest tradition. Interesting. Okay. 13 austerities. While the Buddha did not require these practices, they are recommended for greater asceticism. All forest monks will observe at least one of the Dhutanga austerities. Okay. The Dhutanga austerities are meant to deepen the practice of meditation and assist in living the holy life. Their aim is to help the practitioner develop a detachment from material things, including the body. Wow. Okay. The Pali Canon mentions 13 ascetic practices in various places. First one, refuse wag. I don't know how I should be reading these. Refuse wag wearers? Refuse rag wearers. Okay. Wearing robes made up from discarded or soiled cloth and not accepting or wearing any ready-made robes offered by householders. Okay. Refuse wag wearers. I feel like that's a tongue twister. Refuse rag wearers. Interesting. Triple robe wearer. Having and wearing only 3 robes and not having additional allowable robes. Interesting. Alms food eater. Eating only food collected on Pindapata or alms realm, while not accepting food in the vihara or offered by invitation into a layman's house. House-to-house seeking practice. Not omitting any house while going on alms realm. Not choosing to go to only rich houses or those selected for some reason as relations. Okay. Go to any house. Okay. One sessioner's practice. Eating 1 meal a day and refusing any other food before midday. Okay. People still do that, right? Fasting. Bowl food eaters practice. What? These names are so weird. Eating food from a bowl in which it is mixed together rather than from plates and dishes. Okay. You're just mixing your food. I do that all the time. Probably not to this level. Later food refuser. Okay, not taking any more food after one has shown that one is satisfied, even though lay people wish to offer more. Okay? That's a very good practice to always have. Just eat what you feel satisfied. Forest dwellers practice is where we were at before. No, the one after that. Not dwelling in a town or a village, but living secluded away from all kinds of distractions. Tree root dwellers practice. This is living under a tree without shelter or roof. Open air dwellers practice. Refusing a roof and even a tree root. The practice may be undertaken in a shelter or tent of robes. Okay. So you can have a shelter, but it must be not under a roof or tree. Okay, channel ground dwellers practice. Living in or nearby a... I said the word... I don't know what charnel is. Charnel? A charnel field, a graveyard, or a cremation ground. Okay. Just live in a graveyard. Any bed users practice. Being satisfied with dwelling and allotted as sleeping practice. Being satisfied with any dwelling allotted as sleeping place. Still a couch surfer. And a sitter's practice. Living in the 3 postures of walking, standing, and sitting, and never lying down. That's some expert level there. Okay. I don't know why I got distracted and read all that, but okay. Interesting practices. All right, on to a little bit of Sam Harris. Oh, the question was a question about my job. I used to be a electrical engineer. I worked as an electrical engineer.
New York Times best-selling books. He's
Sam Harris.
also got a meditation app called Headspace and a very popular.
Was that a joke? It was a funny joke. Was that a joke though?
No, waking up.
Waking up, I thought that was a great joke.
And then Making Sense is your pod, right?
Yeah.
So
Waking up.
break down the state of the world.
Okay.
You described the nature of
I like Sam.
civilization as a combination of a
How many years did I work? 4 or 5 years? 4 or 5 years, I think. I think it was 5 years. I can't remember. Do I have a purpose in my life? What do I think about the content of life purpose? I don't think I have a purpose in my life, but some people may say I do. If I were to want to describe a life purpose, maybe it would be something like experiencing art, or appreciating would be a better word, appreciating beauty. Something like that. Concept. But yeah, I don't really think about life purpose at all. So I don't really know. I don't know much about the concept of life purpose. I don't really pursue it. I don't really think it matters very much. But, so not much for me to say about that. I don't think I have a purpose in life, but I do like to appreciate art. And I think it'd be a fair enough approximation for somebody to say that would be my purpose in life. So I'll take it.
psychological experiment and a Ponzi scheme. Your turn.
Yeah, I guess I was thinking, well, with the psychological experiment, I was thinking mostly about what media and social
Why am I
media are
alive?
doing to our
Well,
lives. I mean,
when a mommy and a daddy love each other very much. I was born to parents at a younger age, and now I'm here. And I suppose I'm alive by inertia. Maybe that's a word of using it, or habit is another word of saying it. Habit. And aesthetic hedonist. Aesthetic hedonist. Interesting. I don't think I would put it in that way, but it seems like a fair enough approximation again to say it. The beard for protection. The beard and the hair are just because that's what naturally happens when you don't take care of your hair. For me, at least. I think I'm going to cut my hair very soon. I have a friend who has a wedding, and I'm going to go to the wedding. So I think it'd be appropriate for me to cut my hair and look more presentable for his wedding. It's going to be happening in a couple weeks. I don't know if anybody has do I need to cut my hair before? I don't know how. I've had long hair before, but I've never had long hair and then needed to immediately have it cut and nice. Do I need to cut my hair short first, like a week before, and then get it really cut by a professional or something? I don't know how that works. How do I describe my quality of my life at this moment? At the moment, it's very good. Very, very good quality life. I enjoy my life a lot. And I also enjoy this tea a lot. So multiple things I'm enjoying at the moment. I think it's quite pleasant quality. There's a bit of a shimmer. A sort of vibratory. Well, I don't know what type of question you're asking me. I think it's a pleasant quality life. I'll just say that. Pleasant.
we have been enrolled in what is clearly a
Cut a couple days before.
psychological experiment of sorts. It hasn't been designed to bring us any knowledge of the human mind or the world, but we're getting a lot of knowledge, and we're getting a sense, I think, at this point that this merely connecting people
Sparkles?
and giving them unlimited access to information and an
It's
ability.
not really sparkling. It's shimmering. I don't know how to describe it. It's like sparkle would not be the right word, but shimmering is a fine word, I think. I don't know. It's just kind of bright. I don't know. It's nice.
To silo
Vaporizing?
themselves, whether by
could work.
design or by algorithmic happenstance into echo chambers of various kinds, it's pretty clear that's not good for society at this point.
Am I working on any kind of masterpiece or have ideas that I would like to create, a book, a film, or any other art or music? No. I do write music a lot. If you hear like the piano music, oh, what did I click? Oops, sorry. So I play piano music in the background occasionally. And this is just music that I write personally, which I like, and I create it, I guess. I don't have any plans for a masterpiece or anything. I really just make the music so that I can learn how to create music so I can actually appreciate music that I listen to a little bit better. So I have no magnum opus though. I don't even know what all the techniques I use. Like I can go through all my songs and I can understand what techniques I'm using if I wanted to write them down or think about it. But I've never like compiled all of my techniques in any way to be able to like make a magnum opus that has all of the things that I consider to be important for all of my past works to display them all at once. And I don't think I have the desire to do that. I make music so that I can listen to music better. I like to make art to appreciate art more, not to make more. I don't need to make more. I think there's enough art in the world already to appreciate. There's no need to have more just to make a magnum opus. But maybe at some point, if I ever get to that point of compiling all the techniques that I use and just put them out there, maybe. Yeah. That's the shiver. So what extent do I think I'm awakened at the moment? Can I put a percent on it? I don't know. It depends on I don't know what tradition people talk about. So I'm not attached to any particular tradition. So I don't know what awakened means particularly to you. And I don't have a particular definition that I hold to. So I wouldn't even have an answer to that. I don't really think in terms of awakening. Generally. Let's wake me up more. I don't generally, when I like am alone and think about stuff by myself, or maybe not think about stuff, whatever, I'm usually thinking about art. So awakening is not like a native concept that I have. I think that's a good way of putting it. It's not a native concept that I have, so I wouldn't have a way of expressing the level of awakening that I have personally, because I don't think in that term. I don't really do that. So, I don't know. For anybody else to evaluate me and tell me how awakened I am, I'll accept it. I don't know. Scale from 0 to 1,000. 1,000 is Frank Yang. If 1,000 is Frank Yang, I'm like 10, 5. Frank Yang, my goodness. What a guy. I don't know. Do I have kids? No kids. I am 28 with no children. Okay, music. Gotta stop the music. Sam. Let's continue with Sam.
And
I got older?
It's becoming more.
Did I get older? Haven't I always been 28? Maybe I'm not 28. Hold on, let me do the calculation here. My birthday is July, so I don't think I got older at any point recently. My birthday is July. 28. Yeah, I'm 28. I've been 28 since July. I've been 28. I didn't get older. You haven't heard me say my age since before July. Oh, there you go. Happy birthday, me. from July. There you go. I'm 28.
More obvious to many of us that things can really go wrong when especially
The 0 to 1,000 Hawkins scale of consciousness, I compare myself to Frank Yang and said, paraphrasing, I'm not at his level. So how am I evaluating my own level of awakenedness? I had to figure out what was I saying at the time and what was I listening to at the time to have had a scale to compare myself to Frank Yang. I may have been even joking. I'm not sure. But the Hawkins scale of awakened, I remember seeing this before. And I'm starting to feel very pleasant from this tea. Let's look at the Hawkins scale of consciousness. I think we can place ourselves here, probably pretty easily. Yeah. Oh, okay, maybe not. It's kind of a... It's not a good... I don't think that's a good one. Isn't there a very detailed version? Oh, I think this is the one. Wait, that's too detailed. Okay, I don't know. Oh man, where are the numbers? Okay, I don't think this is the scale of consciousness that I remember looking at from a Frank Yang video. Maybe I'm mistaken. Because I don't know how I would place myself on something like this. It's a bit too vague. Okay, well, let's take a look. We'll try our best. Synchronicity would be finding the right map on the first try so I can measure myself that way according to the map. I think I saw synchronicity was 600. Okay, so I'm under 600, apparently. Okay, this is not clear enough to understand. All right, I don't feel shame. I don't feel guilt. I don't feel apathy. I don't feel grief. I don't feel fear, desire, anger, pride, courage, neutrality, maybe, willingness, maybe not, acceptance. I'm not sure. Reason. I don't know what it means to feel that. Love. Oh yeah. Joy. Yes. Peace. Feels pretty peaceful. Enlightenment. I'm not sure. So I feel like this is too vague for me to understand. I'd say maybe somewhere within the range of 500 to 600 if I'm just guessing a little bit based on what a feeling of that stuff is. But I don't think this is what I remember. Okay.
Advanced societies can't get to ground truth of any kind. And when we can't convince ourselves that we know anything about the way the world is, when misinformation is ascendant, or there's just so much misinformation mixed in with the truth that everything can show up as a kind of half-truth, it's impossible to figure out how to cooperate with, in our case, 350 million strangers, much less 8 billion strangers. And that is the task of civilization, to figure out how to create a durable basis for cooperation where, in the best case, even fairly mediocre people can behave better and better and more creatively because the incentives are aligned and there are institutions that work. And we're witnessing, I think, a significant unraveling of all of that just based on the amount of noise that has been introduced into our thinking about the nature of the world.
Okay, the society is falling apart apparently. Maybe this interview is not everything I hoped it to be. Maybe it is. I think I'll have to watch it on my own. Wow, this chocolate's very good. The chocolate tastes like coffee. We had a whole discussion about this in the. This very coffee flavor. It's got a really nice, good roast to it in this chocolate. This is good chocolate. Okay, I think the interview is going to be boring, and not much for me to interact with for stream, which probably not something that we would all enjoy watching. Though I would enjoy watching it myself, though. Okay. I don't think a thing is exactly just things. We notice and have a way of describing the effect in our heads. Things are not just things. Now I want to listen to music. How about that? Okay. Well, I don't really have much for you guys anymore, but we got a video recommended on YouTube. Right? I'd have to clean up the tea stuff, so I'm gonna clean up the tea stuff, and I guess I can sit around for a bit. What have been my main influences or sources of education in terms of like the sort of consciousness and spiritual stuff? YouTube. Does that count as a source of education? The main influence is tea. Tea is my main influence. Tea is my main influence. And broadening from tea into Zen koans being my main influence. Tea and koans are my main influence. And that is a source of inspiration. But actual education would just be random videos on YouTube. And lots of videos on YouTube. Luckily, whatever Zen tradition I was exposed to early on was very open to lots of various different explanations and understandings of things. It was a very open sort of thing. And I've kind of adopted that. So I am very open to understanding or learning about or experiencing or dabbling or engaging with various types of traditions. And I feel like that openness is kind of allowed for broad education. What's my ideal date? I don't often go on dates. I don't know, maybe like an art museum or something. I think an art museum would be fun, interesting. Maybe a walk in a park or something. I don't know. I can't imagine myself going on many dates. I think the problem is I would like very boring things. I would like something that's extremely boring. I like boring stuff. So, I don't know. It doesn't seem very conducive for dating, having boring stuff. But an ideal date would be something that's very boring. Like a walk. A quiet walk, not like a walk that we can talk. I don't want to talk. I just want to walk. I want to enjoy the beauty of the world. And then maybe we can talk afterwards, I guess. It's not much of a date, huh? I don't know, I gotta think about it more. Something like that, though. Art isn't boring. Are you sure about that one? Art is extremely boring. You're just looking at art. Like, you're just looking at some pictures of nothing. Maybe. Twilight is quite romantic, yeah. I'd prefer to do it in the morning or midday. I'm not much of an evening kind of guy. I really much prefer to go to sleep than hang out with anybody. No offense to everybody out there in the world who likes to be enjoyed at night, I guess, but nighttime is not where it's at. I'm a fan of the sleeping thing at night, personally. And I feel like everything is just improved from a, normal level of engaging with normal things. Everything is just better when you're not sleepy. And if you stay up late to hang out with people, you're gonna be sleepy. So I'd rather not do twilight walks. Maybe we can do morning walks though. But again, how's that for a date? That's a weird date sort of thing. I don't like staying up all night and I don't socialize a lot. Yeah. I think there's something intimately tied between those two. A lot of people like to socialize at night. Kind of unfortunate. Okay, let's take a look at a little bit of this video. I'm just gonna clean up my tea. We'll be closing out the stream very soon. What an intro. What an intro. My goodness. This is from Shi Hang Yi. We've heard from Shi Hang Yi a couple of times, but we've never watched any tea videos from Shi Hang Yi. Apparently he has tea videos. How about that? They seem to be brewing in a Chao Zhou style, at least from, I just saw the 3 cups, so I don't know exactly. It seemed like he was alone though, by himself, drinking with 3 cups. Suggesting Chao Zhou style. I like Chao Zhou tea. They brew it strong. I like that. Okay, well, let's hear more.
Hello, everyone.
You saw it.
It has
History.
been quite some time that I uploaded any new video or that you received any type of message from me. It is simply because not just this monastery, but also personally, quite a lot of things are going into a transition phase. And being perfectly honest, I'm really happy to, on the one side, announce a few things today that some of you maybe were waiting for, but on the other side, I would also like to use this chance right now and clarify and just put some things straight that maybe got lost along the way.
How's the volume? Does it sound good?
So, as you see, this time I'm a little bit prepared. I cooked myself some tea, and normally something very uncommon for my way of doing any types of talks before is I'm normally not prepared to do any type of talks because I think they should come out spontaneously. But this time I have quite a huge list of topics that sooner or later I will also need to let you know and share them with you. But let's start from the very, very beginning and tell you a little bit about myself and who actually is this Shi Hengyi.
Shi Hengyi.
So with the age of 4, my father decided for me that I should join a martial art club. It was a normal martial arts school, just about practicing the physical aspects of the Shaolin Kung Fu. And this was here in Germany. Now, in very simple terms, when I think back about my youth and the way how I grew up, I went to school. After school, I went to the training. After the training, I went home for sleeping.
Hey.
And afterwards, the day just kept repeating, always in this same manner. So everything that was counting for me when I was young was following up the school and afterwards doing my training, and more or less that was it. And yeah, this is very simplified, but actually 14 years long, meaning from the age of 4 until 18, that was how my life was looking. So of course in between, why did I stay with the Shaolin arts? Why did I stay with the Kung Fu training? Also because I was a teenager and watching all different types of
This is the monk from the TED Talk. This is definitely that monk, and we've seen a couple of his videos. Yeah, this is that monk.
movies related to the Shaolin Temple. And also nowadays, the first impression that you're having when you are searching for any Shaolin content, most of the times it's always related to the practice of the martial arts. So, to become strong, to become flexible, to become fast, and to be able to defend yourself, to be able also to fight, and to be able also to compete against other people and other martial art practitioners. This was actually the normal things that I was dealing with when I was young. But around the age of 12, 13, something around this, actually I was also asking myself that on the one side I'm practicing the martial arts, which of course purely is about fighting, defending yourself, learning how to kick, learning how to punch, learning the different techniques to mobilize your opponent. But on the other side, and very strangely, all of these arts, all of these methods were supposed to be developed within the Shaolin Temple, meaning coming from a Buddhist monastery. So for many years I was really asking myself, how does this fit together? And to make this story short, since the founding of this monastery, the Shaolin Temple Europe, which took place already 1996, so this is almost 25 years ago, it has always been my emphasis to bring out and bring some light into something that I was all the time also concerned of. Concerned of the fact that nowadays the Shaolin Temple is known to be a Buddhist monastery, and a famous saying or a famous sentence is that what is being practiced is sometimes also called Chan Wu Yi.
Chan?
Chan coming from the meditation or the Zen Wu from the martial arts, and Yi to harmonize them, meaning Chan Wu, the practice of the martial arts in a meditative state.
Chan? I don't know. I don't know Chinese. What do you call that? In inflection? What do you call that? I don't know Chinese. It's good enough. Manko, what do you call it? Whatever. I don't know Chinese. Chan Wu Yi. Wu. You're gonna try to learn Kung Fu. Oh, that was cool. Do some Kung Fu. Chan, Zen, and Wushu. Tones, yeah, that's the word I'm thinking of. Isn't there a word for that? Tones? Is that the word? Intonation. Oh, intonation. Yeah, that's the word. Tones. Okay, good. Well, I don't know Chinese. Okay. There are 4 tones. Oh. Oh. So you combine Chan with Wu, like Wushu. Wu, Chan, Wu, Yi. Okay, well, I'm all done here. That was an interesting beginning of a history for him of Shi Heng Yi. Shi Heng Yi. Wow, you guys should watch that video if you want to see more of it. I certainly want to see more tea talks from him. Okay, I will be departing at the moment. Today I'll be helping a friend of mine move. Should we do memes? Well, you can share a meme if you wish. Dear Buddhist, if you claim to want to escape samsara, you live in it. Okay. This is a capitalism. This is a communist meme or capitalism meme. The person coming out of the well. You engage with capitalism. You don't like capitalism, yet you engage with capitalism. Curious. Curious indeed. Okay. Dukkha means pain, it means suffering, it means unsatisfactoriness, and it also means disquietude. Dukkha. The Duke. Disquietude? I've never heard anybody say disquietude before. So I don't know any of the true smug. Okay. Getting ready for another day of carrying wood and chopping wood and carrying water. Why is he so angry? Is this how people brew matcha? Hey! Are you supposed to whisk matcha with a frown on your face? Okay. Nothingness. Wow. Wow. Okay, guys, I gotta go. Alright. It's my time. I will be back on Monday. Probably again with no real plan. I'm kind of tied up again for this weekend. We've been doing a lot of stuff. I've been doing a lot of stuff, so since I've been doing bye. Good seeing you, Salem. Since I've been kind of tied up a lot, haven't had a lot of planning. Obviously, I haven't been streaming as much. But, soon enough we'll be back on our normal schedule with typical plans and, structured enough, at least, for us to have something interesting going on stream. But I don't think that's going to be happening Monday directly. The arising and the passing away, exactly. The arising and passing of the stream. Hopefully you guys are taking good care of yourselves over the weekend. It's kind of important to do that because it feels nice to be, feeling nice and all. I don't know. Maybe that's just me though. I like it when I feel nice. You know, being pleasant is kind of cool. And there are some basic things that you can do to like make your experience more pleasant. So I would encourage doing that. You know, maybe hanging out with friends or something, a little basic socializing, maybe a little bit of eating healthy foods and sleeping at a good hour. We've talked about that before. All those things are kind of nice and really basic to do. You can do that and make sure that you're kind of well, at least a little bit kind of well. It might start feeling good. Maybe you'll enjoy it. I'll be back on Monday. See y'all, man.